Not to flex on y'all or anything, but I have been told by multiple people multiple times that I'm the most organized person they know.
Yuki Production.
Hey y'all, it's JC and I'm back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you all how to stay organized for school and how to stay organized for school, because honestly I believe one of the main pieces of being successful in school is staying organized, keeping your life together and all that jazz. And I am a senior now, so I know how to stay organized. I have stayed organized for the past 3 years. We're gonna make it a 4th, and I think you can do the same, so that is what I'm here to teach you. I'm not gonna talk too much in the intro because I want to get right into it, so let's get right into it. I have my notes right here, and yeah, I'm just gonna talk about them. So first, let's get into planning. So when I say planning, I mean just making sure that you always know what's coming up. I'm not going to talk about tracking assignments, but I am going to be talking about, you know, what classes you have, what extracurriculars you have, what projects, things like that. So there are many different things that you can use for planning. I'm going to recommend 3. I'm going to recommend Notion, I'm going to recommend Google Calendar, and I'm going to recommend a paper planner. So first, let's talk about a paper planner because I believe that's the most simple one. So basically, you can order a paper planner online and you can plan out your life. So this is my planner. I don't know the brand off the top of my head, but I would get that to y'all. But I bought this at Target at the beginning of the school year. It is literally a student planner, and basically you have a monthly outlook and then you have a weekly outlook, and planners come in a wide range of varieties and whatnot, but the planner I have, the dates are vertical. Each individual day is vertical, which I really love, and the days are split into like little columns, and I just use it for school subjects. So when you're using a paper planner, I recommend that you get one that you know you can take everywhere with you. A lot of people use smaller ones. I use this big one because mine goes in my book bag with me at school with all my other notebooks, but paper planners are good if you're a paper person, you don't like technology, you just would rather, you know, write everything down. And I just say that, you know, you should always keep this up to date and always check it and whatnot. So yeah, the next recommendation I have is Google Calendar. So Google Calendar is free with a Gmail account, and basically you can color coordinate it and just lay out your dates however you would like to, and you can put in events and set reminders on your phone. So I say Google Calendar is really good for you if you are prone to forgetting things. You can set reminders with the app on your phone. Also, if you want to be able to access your calendar in multiple spaces, you can access it on your computer, your phone, everywhere, and I think it's really cool. Also, if you have friends who use it, you can share events and whatnot. I think that's awesome. And if you have a lot going on, I really recommend Google Calendar because there is so many ways you can organize your stuff, and you can put everything into one place. And like, for example, for different events and whatnot, you can create different calendars and show them and hive them and change the colors and set reminders. It's just really awesome. So that is Google Calendar. And then lastly, there's Notion. So Notion is commonly known for being that platform in which people organize their lives on, and while I wouldn't be that extreme, Notion is really good for planning. So Notion, I would say to use Notion if you need to do multiple things. So like, for example, if you need to keep track of to-do lists and checklists and lay out how you want certain things to go, and I think Notion is really good for that. Now, I will say Notion's calendar feature is really lacking. So I know a lot of people will use Google Calendar and Notion, or Paper Calendar and Notion. I do think that it is a great platform to use, and you can do a lot of the other things that I'm going to mention in this video. You can do that on Notion, but personally, I use all of them. A lot of times I use this because it's the first thing I have access to, and I'll jot down like what's going on, and then I'll put it in my Google Calendar or put it in Notion and just do whatever. And I think that's a really good thing. And also, like, I believe Notion can have a video on its own, so if you want a video on my Notion setup and whatnot, I can definitely get y'all that. Just let me know how you're feeling about it. And yeah, I will say with any method that you use, please check it daily. Make it a routine when first thing in the morning when you wake up to check your planner, see what's going on, see what you have coming up. And for what you should put in your planner, I recommend putting due dates, club meetings and everything. And always when you're looking at your planner, look at today and look at the days coming after today, so you can kind of plan ahead. And also when you're using your planner, if you have something that seems like forever from now, and let's say it's like a big project or something, go ahead and set dates that you can do small steps on. So like, for example, let's say I have a final presentation due in December, but it's September right now. So by the end of the month, I'm gonna want my idea planned out. I'm gonna want what I want to talk about planned out, and then by the end of next month I'm gonna want all my research done, and then by the second week in December I'm gonna want my speech written, and then the next week I want my presentation planned out. Just things like that. Set those small goals, because if you just have that date written in December, like it's September now, so let's say I have that date written in December. When December comes, I probably would have forgotten about it by then, and then I'll be like, oh my gosh, I had a project due, and even though I wrote it down, because I didn't set checkpoints for myself, I forgot until it was too late. So yeah, that's all I have to say about planning. Next, let's move on to note taking. So note taking is one of my favorite parts of school, and personally I take notes on my iPad.
You know why I feel like I'm stuck in life? It's because I ain't got an iPad. Like, no, I cracked the code. That's the reason. Like, every time I see somebody who's life together or is at peace in life, they have an iPad.
You want to, it's just to keep me engaged in class and keep up with what's going on, and try to like trigger my memory for certain things that my teacher says in class. And I'm a big proponent for not writing down everything that's said in class. Some people can disagree with me, but I think that's unnecessary. So I do take kind of sloppy notes in class, but when I get home I rewrite my notes on my iPad, and I say my notes are on my iPad, but like you can take notes whenever you want to. You can have two separate notebooks, an in-class notebook, at home notebook. You can use the same notebook, whatever you want to do, but I bring that home and I write my notes in my notebook on Good Notes, and I make them look cute, and it motivates me to study. Let's go even deeper into digital notes. I think two good platforms to do your notes on are Notion. Once again, Notion saves the day, and OneNote. So Notion, once again, is free. I've already said this before, but you can organize your notes. I've never taken notes on Notion, but I know YouTubers like Annie Long, they have. So y'all should really go check that out from someone who knows something about it, because I don't, so I'm not even gonna pretend like I do. But OneNote is an amazing platform. I do take notes on OneNote because I do have online classes, and I just think that since I'm already doing the class on the computer and it's not like math or anything, I think it's really easy for me to take my notes online. And if y'all want a separate video on that, please let me know, but I think you should check that out. I feel like it's too much to cover in this video alone, but OneNote is also a really great platform to take notes. And when it comes to taking notes, I recommend that you are constantly reviewing your notes and that you're organizing them in folders. If you're doing them on paper, on loose leaf paper, put them in folders and label the folder with your school name on it. Color code your notes. I think that is a really big proponent. I have a color scheme for like calculus, for example, and all my notes kind of incorporate those colors, and then I have some for my AP European history class, and that way when I'm glancing across, let's say like notes get out of place, which they wouldn't because they're on my iPad, but let's say they get out of place, like I know where this goes by glancing at it. And I hate to start controversy, but math is blue and science is green and English is red and social studies is yellow. Anyways, let's get back into what I was saying. But yeah, organizing your notes is a really big proponent to success in school. I also think that you should be constantly doing something with your notes, whether it's reviewing them, quizzing yourself on it. I feel like active recall is so much better than just reading over your notes. So making flashcards on Quizlet and going over them, or just, you know, writing out questions for yourself when you're studying to go back and answer later. I think all those are really big proponents, and I know like that's not organization and whatnot, but I really believe that that's a good thing to do. So yeah, if you have paper, I'm not sure how you want to organize your stuff because I do most of my work digitally, but if you have folders or binders, you need to make sure that you are constantly keeping in the place that it needs to go. Like, I can tell you this as much as you want, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to do that for yourself. So figure that out and you will be on the right track. So next, I want to talk about organizing digital spaces. So by digital spaces, I mean Notion, Google Drive, and your email, because nobody really mentions emails in these type of videos, and I feel like as students, we have a lot of emails. And yeah, so first, Notion, we've talked about Notion before. I'm not gonna say too much on that. Next, Google Drive. Color code your Google Drive and keep everything in its right folder. So in this clip right here, I am more than likely showing you how to color code your Google Drive. So change the colors on your folders, associate colors with different subjects, and that'll keep you on the right track. And make sure that every time you have a new document, the document is going in a folder. You're putting it somewhere. You have to actively want to organize. You can't just wait till everything gets all crazy to organize. Organize as you go. That is like a huge tip of this video. Organize as you go. And then for your email, email filters are like a really big thing. So like, if you, let's say you get Google Classroom notifications, I hate those, but we get them. Turn them off, one, if you think that you can turn them off without missing out on assignments. If you can't though, you can send them to like their own folder so that you can just like mass delete them. You can also, you know, like set filters that'll star emails coming in from your specific teacher, just things like that, so that you can get it together. And if you are a senior like me, I strongly suggest having a folder for colleges, and I literally will set a filter that says like any email that mentions college, university, go here. And I think that is a really nice way to keep your email organized, especially when you're getting a whole bunch of emails. And yeah, I really think it's important to keep your email organized. I know people don't say that, but I think it is. So next, let's talk about tracking assignments. There are many ways that you can track assignments. I'm going to mention 3. I'm going to mention, so first I'm going to mention a spreadsheet. There are different like spreadsheet templates online, and I don't know if y'all are aware of Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel, but you can use these to track your assignments. But I will say that you need to remember to go look at it constantly and to put your assignments in there. And once again, I will say to do checkpoints for big assignments like projects and whatnot. Put in checkpoints within your assignment tracker so that you don't forget about it to the last minute. Next, I have paper assignment trackers, so you know, just writing down your assignments on a piece of paper and marking them off as they come along. I don't recommend this way, but if you want to do that, please do it. But just remember to keep track of them and keep looking at this. And lastly, Notion. So Notion works just like a spreadsheet in my opinion, but it looks better. I track my assignments on Notion and they go away when I hit complete, which you can do on spreadsheet, but I just like the way Notion looks. And yeah, they basically do the same thing, but yeah, I mean, there are templates for these all over the internet, so I'm not gonna say like you're on your own and make one, because you're definitely not. You can find one, and I think tracking your assignments is crucial to getting good grades, because in order to get a good grade on an assignment, you have to do the assignment. So yeah, do not forget about them. And if you have an assignment on paper, please make sure you're putting this in its rightful place. So for example, if you're using folders, you can have a to-do pile and a done pile in your folder, or like if you have a binder, one of your pockets can be reserved for assignments, and you can sort each pocket by like the one closest to you is like the paper that's due, and the one in the back is the one that's like due the farthest away from now. Just make sure you're having a way to organize this. I've even seen some people where they have a homework folder where they're like, this is the folder of work that I need to do, and then they have like the other folders for their like notes and stuff. And however way you need to do it is cool, but for me personally, I do all my work online, or like the few worksheets I do have, I have one folder for. And even though it's not organized by class, I still am able to keep up with it. And yeah, so that is all I have for those tips. Now I just want to give you kind of general tips overall. So first, my first like overall tip is to have a weekly reset routine. So on Sundays before you go back to school, or on Friday nights or Saturday mornings, go through all your like school spaces and make sure everything is where it needs to be and you are on track to catch up with the next deadline or due date or whatnot. Please do that, because you know, sometimes we get busy, and if you just keep putting it off, you're never gonna get organized. It's gonna be a hot mess. So please have a reset routine. Next, I would recommend using colors in whatever you're doing. Colors are a big thing for me. Colors help me stay organized. I associate colors with different subjects, like I told y'all earlier, and I feel like that is a very big piece in staying organized. Also, just ensure that everything has a place, and if something doesn't have a place, you find a place for it. So like, let's say I have folders for all my work, then I get a paper that goes to the front office at my school. Well, I'm gonna make a new pocket in a folder or something that is for papers that need to be signed. Just because it didn't have a place doesn't mean that I'm gonna throw it in with the rest of my calculus work and carry around my calculus work. No, that's not its place. Let's make a place for it. And I feel like when you have that mindset, you're more likely to stay organized and keep up with your stuff. And lastly, I just want to say, at the end of the day, this is on you. Like, I can give you all the tips in the world, but if you're not willing to use them, you're not gonna get organized. So you have to find that motivation from somewhere. Like, even if that motivation is like, I don't want to fail, like, you need the motivation from somewhere in order to really push yourself to get organized. So that's all I have for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please drop them down below and I will get to you as soon as I can, or you can like DM me on Instagram, whatever's cool with you. I'm cool with it too. And yeah, I really hope to see you all next time on the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.